Test, test. Hey,
How you going?
can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. The video just caught up, so that's good.
Oh, perfect. Sorry. New webcam setup.
Yeah, cool.
You can see how ugly I am now. It's truths revealed.
Yeah.
More my HD glory.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, how are you?
Bo,
How are you?
Good, good.
pretty good. I ended up clicking on the first link. That seemed to work. So
Oh, cool. Yeah, sorry.
is
yeah.
it? They're both the same, yeah?
I think they're both the same. I clicked the one up top and I'm like, oh, should I go to the invite one? So
Okay.
that seems both work.
It's working. Hooray.
Where's the... Yep. We're live. That's good. We are live. Hey, Lincoln.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Tim.
Tim.
Hey.
That thing that Ben talked about the other day, this thing for scraping, is fantastic.
Is it that program?
Cheerio or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like working with jQuery. You just sort of write something and it does it. It's great.
That's great.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Is that me?
That's me. I don't know what's going on.
Mine was doing that the other day when I was doing testing. I like completely fucked mine.
Stop it.
Yeah, I ended up. I'm just trying to get one to work now, but I would just keep adding them to one string, and then I push that one string to Discord, so you only get the one noise.
So Matt, should I be using Cheerio as well?
So for the for when you do the search,
Yeah.
yeah, you could use that. Yeah, I installed it, so you should be able to just call it. If you look in genre search in my folder, you can just grab that stuff. So where it has get started on line 1.
Yep.
And then from 18 sort of down, that whole stuff there is just going through that data that it pulls back, this J data.
Okay.
And then it's cool, you sort of just tell it, oh, look at this div and look for this class. And then it grabs all the game names and chucks them into an array. And so it returns this list. So that's quite cool.
Okay. Wow. Down to that. Thank you.
That's all right. Trying to get it to actually return things to the bot now, rather than just printing to the console.
What was I going to say?
Hmm. Right, so does anyone know what how long we've got left?
We have until, what was the date on the assignment? It's in 2 weeks' time, isn't it? Not this Friday coming up, the next Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've still got 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Cool.
Yeah.
Bit daunting.
When's the, so that's when like the written assignment is due. Is that when all the code is due?
Good question.
Yeah, it'll be in one of our recordings, wouldn't it? Because I remember him saying it. If anyone wants to go back and listen to them all.
I remember you said the code is due. There's like a final submission in like week 13 or 14.
On a Tuesday or something, was that it?
If you need to change any code. So I think the presentation is due before that.
Yeah, I've got code due 11th to the 21st, so Tuesday.
Okay, so the code's due on the 21st.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you were saying the assignment's the 19th? I had to close all my tabs, so I've lost everything.
Yeah. Have a look. I might have had that written down in my notes.
So it's the 24th of November, the report's due. And then present.
So
Sorry, Tim.
that's in 2 weeks exactly.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And then presentation 26.
Okay. And when's the code?
The code's on the 21st.
Oh,
I thought it was the other way around.
yeah. I thought code.
Yeah.
Where is this just from the chat or is this from?
So on the assignment 3, it says the when they're due, the report and the presentation. Actually, it says final submission 29th Tuesday. So sorry, I was a week wrong.
29th?
So-
Isn't that a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Hold up. Let me have a look as well.
24.
Oh.
26 presentation.
Cool. That's all right. It's an extra week than what I thought.
29.
So the coding falls under the final submission.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah.
But how would
Makes
you
sense.
presentation properly then?
Yeah.
Because you'd have to hit your validation requirements. So you'd still need it ready at your presentation.
Yeah. That might be just to clean up Or
okay.
maybe if things don't work or something. I don't know.
Steal some code online and then just fix it up later.
Just change your name to the bot's name and just type it all out to respond.
Have some kids sitting in the background just.
Yeah. The guy I work with was talking about he was doing an electronics thing and they just couldn't get these LEDs to light. So they just use like a pointing laser, like just to light it up in that. Yeah. And got away with it apparently. So that's lucky.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yeah. I think he's just one of those guys that get away with those things. Or if I did it, I'd totally get caught.
Yeah, if you got to be shady, you got to believe in yourself. Like,
Yeah.
This isn't bad.
Right then. So how much time do we have?
I need to leave in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
How many parts of this bot do we want in modules? Like which sort of things?
So anything that needs to be reused
Okay.
probably needs to be a module. Everything else you could hard code if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Just yeah. I finally got mine working because it was giving me really weird, like it would loop and like spam the server.
Okay.
And because I was misunderstanding how the client on works. But now it's all working fine.
Okay.
But yeah, it's
Oh, cool. So you've chucked some
so
some static stuff in there.
I've got like 2 items in an array.
Yeah.
And it can, it'll print it, and then when you plug in the number, it'll add it to the array.
Oh, that's cool.
But you just can't get it to. I've got.
For the
last
Counter-Strike.
Do you want to add any more? And if you go yes, it's hard to get it to reprint it. Actually, that shouldn't be too hard. I did have a while loop that would. The idea being it would keep going round until you said what it wanted, but all that did was create an infinite loop. Just the way it. With the client on, whenever you message, it like goes to the start again.
Okay.
So it already will loop with the client on function. It just listens out for whatever the action is.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be careful that none of our if statements are the same. Otherwise, we'll get sort of duplicating. Duplicating stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Check.
Yeah, I don't think you can have. You might be able to, like an if inside an if. Look, waiting for user input.
So chat.content. So that just looks for something to be put in there. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's I can change this to message. It's the same as your message.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah.
So it picks it up on
Whatever.
any content.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
But not itself.
So whatever. Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Doesn't do
look through
that.
itself. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, Matt, random question.
Time on, you can't get any like of the variables outside of it, inside of it, to out. I think.
What was that again? Sorry, Lincoln.
Like the scope of it is for the variables is different from when if you use the count on. Let's say a local scope, when all the variables can only be used inside it. Like, that's what I'm thinking.
All these ones up the top here. Yeah. Or you mean it needs to
In
forget it?
search, like, yeah, like in the search.js, the one I pretty much completed all the backend and stuff. I'm having trouble like exporting the variable, like the what you're saying, the modules and stuff. I'm having trouble doing that. Like I tried doing it and exporting it, but once the client on message is kind of interfering with it. Like I don't know, like
Okay.
with the export modules, like.
Yeah, so when they
I've done all the backend, like all the display stuff, all the stuff I've done in the search.js. I'm just having trouble exporting the arrays or whatever list or something. Yeah, I just can't. Can't get it out
yeah, okay.
when it's like wrapped in a function. When it's wrapped in a function or something, I can't get the variables out because it's like the client none like localizes the variables or something or
Yeah,
if
so-
state because I have code inside the client on the if statement kind of like all the variables inside are localized, so I can't take them out. Like
Yeah.
I tried to take them out, but I cannot. So yeah, I'm just having trouble with exporting data and stuff like the modules and stuff. I'm really having trouble.
Yeah.
So all the variables will be private, and so
Yeah, you won't be able to access it.
yeah, you so in the search function, you have to have or in the module, there's be a function, or you could have a couple of functions. So you could have a function called search, which takes a parameter, like
Yeah,
a string
I tried
parameter.
that.
Okay, and it,
So I think what would be happening is whenever you do like a GET request, it says I'm going to do that, and then it continues on its way. So if you try to return anything, it just returns an object of nothing. So that might be why it's causing the hassle. Like if you
And
open
also
up,
because
oh, there we go, function up list.
if you open up the
you can't
time,
also-
the time
yeah.
one,
I tried like using yours, like try to emulate it, but I don't know.
yeah, they are a headache. Like it's hard for me to explain them other than that it kind of needs to know that it needs to wait for an answer before it continues on its way. So like if you're in time and you're on line 24,
20.
just highlighted it so it might show up.
Yeah.
So it says playSearch.text, so it's going to go and do the get request, and it's going to give it the text. And then it's saying then, so I'm not going to do anything until I get that back. Then I'm going to do this function with the data, which happens to be whatever's in here. So all the things you'd want to do with that data, you would put in inside one of those things. So I've just happened to have pulled it out into a function, but it could just be all written in there. Just it returns it.
But what does it return? What are you returning? Like the data, like the shape?
So what this returns, so now because it's modular, like if you click on bot.js and then line 51. Yeah, so it says search location text, and it says dot then function. So I'm not going to do anything until I get that data returned.
Is that calling the
So this first bit here calls that function in the time.js, and then it's just saying that I'm not going to do anything until I get data back. That's what I'm expecting.
Right.
So once it gets that data, then you can actually use it.
Okay. So it forces it to wait. Okay.
So I think what we'd have is in the bot JS file, we'd have we perform the get request once and bring that into an array as a variable in the bot. And then every other function can just use that array instead of having to continually do a get request.
Yeah, for the app list, yeah.
Yeah. So have the whole app list as an array.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think that's
what you would.
Yeah,
and then. And you can
otherwise,
perform the second part, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise the search function is going to do a get request every time you just want to search.
Okay, cool. So, Lincoln, then in your search draft.js, yeah?
This is just draft, so yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Like, so this will do what Tim just said. So your app list function that you've got in here.
Yeah, so if that is
reader,
called in
like you can't trigger this thing like for the function reader, like it doesn't wait for it doesn't
Yeah, you don't need that though.
It doesn't wait for you. Huh?
You don't need that until you're going back to the client. So for just getting the app list, what you've got here, whatever we do in here will return it to the other function that wants it. So that'll do what Tim is just suggesting.
Yeah, that's what I was suggest to do, but I'm just having trouble like exporting the stuff.
Yeah, so it needs a promise. So if you go back to the time one, and then scroll down, you'll find place search. It's on line 80.
Yep.
This is the same as what you're doing, but then on line 91, it does a promise. So it's saying new promise, resolve, reject. So when you get your response, it's saying resolve and give it the data.
And then you use.
I'm not having problem getting the data. I'm just having problem like if the client.on, like you have to when you send the messages out, you have to use the client.on.
Yeah.
Message event meter. I just don't know how to incorporate that with the other functions.
Okay.
When you export.
Well, what this is meant to do though, this will give the data back to the other function, and then you can use it with things. So it's going to return it and wait for it.
So the bot.js will do all the client on stuff, and it will be Yeah, and so that'll be the front end.
Sorry, guys, I need to head off now to training.
That's all good.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, good.
But message me about what you were gonna ask, Bo. Sorry.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I will definitely. Sorry, I just didn't want to interrupt. After training, I'll send you a message. Is that okay?
Yeah, cool.
That might be a bit late for you, though. What time is it?
Yeah, if I'm
Midnight. I'll send the message, but you don't have the message straight away.
Yeah, cool. All right.
All right, see you guys. Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah.
See you.
So like the search app, sorry, not search app, the app list.
So can I put this promise in there now, Lincoln? Is that all right? We'll see what it does.
Yeah, just see what.
No.
I'm not sure if it will work. So. Yeah.
We'll give
I'm
it a
not having
crack.
trouble. I'm not having trouble with the response. I'm really not. But I'm just having trouble with the client on like the front end bit.
But, so what doesn't it do?
All the back end. I'm more okay with it. It's just the front. Like I already got the thing working, the search feature.
Cool.
It's just the front end, like the exporting the data, the thing you're talking about.
Yeah. So to be able to export it,
into
you
the
need,
other program. Yeah.
yeah, to export it, you need to do a promise. Does that make sense?
You need to use a promise to export
So no,
data.
or you use a callback or something like that. A promise is just the only
Yeah,
one I
a
really
callback.
understand.
I use the callback for it. Like you can use like
So-
function, then you just call into a variable or something like var x equals the function name and bracket and then semicolon. Is that okay or?
Well, so where you've got everything working in search, the reason why that's working is because it's in the response that you do the client messages. So if this was outside of there and you were calling the search function and returning it so the client could use it, it probably wouldn't work. But because it's within it, it's going down the line. Do you know what I mean? Like normal JavaScript.
Yeah.
Um,
Going down, like you mean it's going down the line.
like it's doing line by line, like it's going through and doing everything. And if it gets to a function, it does that. But these node get request things don't do that. They're asynchronous. They start running and then it continues on doing your code. So then you could do like 20 of them at once, sort of thing. Because when I first started doing it, I was like, why can't I pass it back to the client? Why doesn't the client ever get to it, get to use it? But I could do whatever I want within the response.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's the problem I'm having. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think that's the problem I'm having. Like, I can't get the response to be used in the client. Yeah. I think that's the problem I'm having here.
Cool. Do you mind if I won't do it now because it'll take forever. Do you mind if I stick it into this app list one and get it to return to client message? Yeah.
So it's the promise is the thing that waits for it, or like?
Yeah, it's kind of like just say you're in. Just say you write your normal JavaScript and it's going line by line. And it gets to a function, and typically it goes in that function and does it before it continues along. The asynchronous one doesn't do that, but what you do is you make it, I promise you I'm going to return something. So then it decides to wait until you actually give it something. So it's either it's like I'm going to give you some money, or I'm not going to give you some money, but I never not tell you anything.
Oh, okay. So
does that make sense?
cpp.get like never tells you something like if it.
Well, it will do it, but your program will be over before it gets back to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then if you give it a promise, your program will wait for it to get back to you. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I thought the HTTP.get would wait for you to do it, like wait until 9, then go down. I thought that's what I was thinking, but the promise
When you're
does
in
that.
it, it does. But yeah, when you're
Outside.
so
of
like
it.
yeah, when you're outside of it. So that's why your search.js works the first 2 bits because they
Inside.
do flow that way. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I reckon. So the promise will like mean that you be used somewhere else. Like, is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah, it means that anything could call it, and that program will wait until it gets some sort of response. It might get a reject back. It might get
okay.
an array. Because when I first started doing it, I kept using type of, and it would say it's an object, but then it didn't have anything in it. So it just
I was having that same error as like same thing. Like I kept getting a blank object from it,
Yeah.
like when I was doing the other one. Yeah. So
So
it's the promise. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So the old way of doing it was callback, but I don't really understand those. I understand these promises. Yeah.
Yeah. I did.
So I'll do that for your app listing, and I'll put comments in there and stuff. And
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah, and we'll go from there.
Oh.
Do you want me to chuck my cart function in the bot function? Because most of it will just probably get hard coded in.
Yeah. Do you want me to move the bot outside of here so it's in the?
Yeah.
So I don't go tinkering with it when I probably shouldn't.
So it'd just be one of the else if.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've tried to comment if we're going to go with this one. Yeah. So don't break it.
Cool.
And then you just need to do up the top. So you do the require. And you can see.
The require the JS file, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So on line 15, you can just check that out, Tim. I've just turned on Lincoln's one, so you could link it to that folder if you want.
Yeah.
So,
You just use the require the file JS name .js to import the stuff in.
Cool. So.
Cool. So.
Oh, so it's the promise that was stuff.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. It was like a penny drop when I figured it out. But
I wonder why I keep getting blank object and stuff. I was like, what the heck is happening? It was like,
I tend to go through and ruin everything I've done when it doesn't work. Then I have to go back. That's why it would be good if we were using Git, because you can just check out whatever you've done and it just goes back to where you were.
Yeah. I regret not setting that up. I forgot about the extra marks.
Yeah, well, I didn't realize
we had to use 5 weeks before as well. We didn't know.
Because I started setting one up when he said that we needed to. And then no marks, so no points.
Yeah.
I thought it was optional. Like he said, it was optional or something, right?
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't worth anything.
I think it's like bonus. It's more bonus marks, I think.
Yeah.
A couple of percent bonus marks.
It's not much. I had a look at in the assignment the other day. The things you want to mainly obviously focus on is your core features, and even your extended features. They were all right. They weren't anything mythical. Like it wasn't like. It's mainly your core features you want to get right. Like
the core features.
So Tim, just finishing off the last thing, the thing that you couldn't do was you couldn't get it to. What did you say? Add another one, or?
I think I can get it to. It should just be able to print. It's more when it asks you to search for more games from the list.
Okay.
I would just want it to just print the list again.
Okay.
but even without doing that, if you just press the number on the list, if you scroll back up in Discord to see what the list was, you can add more.
Okay.
And then I guess if you want to search for other items to add, you will just trigger the function again, because it would have the array. It would remember in the array what you've already added.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just run this for loop again. It just didn't like that.
Oh no, I should be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That should work fine. I'll just stick it down here. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That should all work. Yeah, I was using while loops and it just totally stuffed it up.
Yeah.
I honestly have not found a good use for while loops besides, unless you're using like a console program.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all ifs and for loops.
Yeah. I can't think of when I last used one.
Because
Do you
I
want
haven't
to
coded in a while either.
in my JavaScript, Java course, we're using a GUI. So.
Oh, cool. Mine didn't do. I didn't get to do a GUI.
Yeah.
That must have
Oh,
changed.
graphical update.
I'm doing the software architecture
Okay,
subject.
maybe that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so that I don't know when you'd use a while loop. They're very limited. Whenever I've used one, I just get an infinite loop and the program doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, it's meant to do that, right? Until something.
Until the certain condition. Until
and it just freezes the program because it can't get any.
Yeah.
Just evaluates the condition if it's true or false. I think that's about it. And if it's true, it keeps going, and false, it stops.
Anyway.
Cool. So,
Yeah.
what are we thinking? Like, we need to get cracking on all the extended features. Yeah.
Yeah, I can have a go at one.
I probably would like a bit of help on the voice search sometime during the weekend. If that's okay. I'm just
for sure.
right. I just mainly the file output stuff. So there was a bit of a come to Jesus moment, obviously, the other day with Byron's links, which was good. I'm still not sure how to output files properly with it. I haven't done a lot of JS work, so that's why I'm a little bit green with it. So
did that that other bot that I shared last week?
what you shared last.
It'll be somewhere in the.
Does it have some file output characteristics? Because I can look at that. That's what you're getting at.
That was his bot was where I think it did. I'll repost it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I do remember that. That's
I think he had
some file output there.
Okay.
Create receiver. Yep. That's on.
And then create the output stream.
Oh, okay. So it's got an audio stream there, and it's using. Now I got to tell it to generate the output file.
I think it's just a basic audio recorder.
Yep.
Which is all.
So basically, I've got to get the part after create the voice receiver where he's got the audio stream, which talks back to the receiver and makes an output stream.
And then it goes to go below that.
PCM
to the file stream. And then that can go into a file, PCM file.
Yep, which I can put on the Google Drive.
Yeah, well, but that file could just be on
I think
Cloud9?
I think Byron wanted me to actually put it directly on the
Oh, okay.
if you go to his link that he's pinned up there, it talks about bringing the audio file directly onto the Google Drive, so that way the API can just easily grab it and just do its text conversion. But I'll give that a go. Thank you for that.
That's all right.
I'll probably report back probably Sunday morning, no doubt. See how I go. If that's all right. But if I do need help, I'll make sure I yell out beforehand.
Yeah.
That's okay for everyone.
Yeah, cool.
Thanks, guys.
It's a big learning curve, this one. I'm just trying to read it.
Yeah, it was a bit crueler than I thought.
Throwing a deep end.
I never did the JS course. I did the Python one and everything as well beforehand. So that's why I'm a little bit thrown by it as well. Not that I'm simple or anything, but yeah, I do struggle with reading it so far. So, but getting there, figure it out.
Yeah, you have to figure it out. Yeah.
Cool. I can do like extended feature 2.
Oh, that's it. Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
When I was talking to Bo, so recommend similar games and search for games of similar genre. Pretty similar. But the recommend similar games in same genre. In the validation, it talks about looking at the player's library.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
So we can't do that yet.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Yeah.
We could
You
do
need the Steam App ID or something.
yeah. We could do what's in the cart. Yeah. So
like that's
Yes, sir.
So you're thinking about leveraging it off the other one?
yeah, the cart, or if
Okay.
or if you do the second part of the search, so just say with Lincoln Search, you do the second part and it returns the genres, then you should be able to just search those genres of that game. Does that make sense? Because then it's going to give you recommend similar games.
Okay.
So you could just ask it to recommend, and then it would go and grab those genre tags, do the search, and give you the list. Is that a good idea? Just to be able to do this one?
So
do you want to merge those two features?
yeah.
Or
No, keep them separate, but they'll use the same functions. Like they'll use parts of it. So
That way you'll be killing two birds with one stone as well. That'd be
yeah. It'll just be so.
pretty sneaky.
so one will just spit you out like the top 10 games in a certain genre.
Yep. So that's feature 4. So you can just
And
say
the other one, when you search for a game, you can opt to find 5 or top 10 games
Yeah, you
in the same genre, whatever.
you could say recommend something to me, and it would, or like recommend games, and it would give you a list,
And it would just scrape the Steam.
Yeah, so it could just use that same function and scrape that page.
Yep. Okay.
I reckon that'd solve it.
Yeah, I think when we first started doing this, we weren't sure how Discord accessed your Steam account.
Yeah.
And that was never clarified until I think 2 weeks ago.
It's like, no, you can't do that. Because you were trying to, how I put that in my Steam cart, put that on my wish list. Yeah.
I was probably sitting there laughing at us the whole time, waiting. 2 weeks before.
Watch us drown.
All right, cool. Well, I'll mention that to Bo then. So we'll have to put it in that. There's that spot to change the feature slightly. What was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Cool. So you're going to do feature 2?
Yeah, I can. That's pretty straightforward. So.
Yeah.
That one. I'll finish off cart and I'll stick it in the bot.
Yeah. I I've got the start of feature 1 if anyone wants that to continue on
Yeah.
with, because that's when I was practicing. I started with that
feature
one
yeah.
because that one's pretty easy. It's on that.
Yeah.
I think it's an example somewhere.
Game news.
The welcome.
No, they're game news.
Game news.
Yeah.
Game news, yeah. Welcome, I think, is part of the blog.
Yeah, I think we've all
Yeah.
done welcome somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've put it at the end of the blog. If it's not
that
right,
one-
just
Game news
fix
should
it.
be easy. Yeah. Game news just to get the.
I'll move that to done then.
Okay.
Cool.
Ray.
Use items. Yeah. Use items. I can. It's not too hard. I think.
I think it was after I've probably finished this similar genre one for the most part over the weekend. So I'm happy to grab another extended feature.
With this Steam game search, it's got to then grab a lot of data from.
So the second part.
Yeah, so it's got to.
So Lincoln's doing that. If you look in the test server, it's getting that stuff.
Sweet.
Just needs to be structured to do the same thing, so you could call that. So like with the genre search one, like you get back names and app IDs. So
Oh, there we go. Yep.
you should be able to do the same second part of that search to get all the details.
Sweet.
But yeah. Had anyone else seen that approved libraries thing that Ben showed us the other day?
No, I didn't.
No.
That threw me for 6. I was like, approved libraries. I'm like, oh my fucking god. Right?
I'm like, I just thought we weren't allowed to use like anything apart from
Discord
Same.
documents and HTTP.
I was like, you get
Uh,
a bit of online info,
Yeah.
figure it out.
But that's just
that's cool.
it's got everything in there. It's great.
Yeah.
So the game information is that all in is that all in the app list?
No, that's this.
Just
So if
search.
look at search.js.
It's all in the search.js.
Yeah, I'm in the search.j. Yeah.
So it's the second part.
Yeah.
So it'll need to be separated out as well because that's got a client message.
Where's like this part? Where's that data coming from? Where's that JSON coming from?
The HTTP requests up in the
From-
search.
This line here. Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, it's coming from there.
Oh, okay.
Where
I
are
get
we
you.
looking, sorry?
So
I get you. So that'll
search.js.
spit out all of the cool.
Yeah.
Search.js. Okay, sorry.
Easy. So you get the app ID and then you feed it into there. Sweet.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Cool. I think it's been an hour, gents.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That went by
Yeah.
really quickly.
Yeah, when you're busy, it seems to
Yeah, that's.
fly by.
Time flies.
Cool.
Time flies, my friend.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions?
When are we going to meet next?
Oh,
I think early next week.
Yeah, I'd like
next week?
Early next week?
early, if that's cool.
Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Monday night I can meet.
I can meet Monday night. As
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, Monday night should be okay.
Yeah, it's good for me too.
Yeah, Tuesday night I won't be able to.
3 o'clock or what time? 7:30 or something.
I don't work. I'm not
Time
working.
on Monday?
Anytime is fine.
I'll just check what time. Hold on.
8?
I think I've got all of
Yeah.
Thursday off as well, so I should be able to
Sebastian's
pick up
staying
some
at
extra stuff.
your mum's on Monday? I'm anytime after 6 on Monday.
He's gotten rid of the kids.
I've gotten rid of one of the kids. So he goes to his grandparents on a Monday night, but every second Monday.
Convenient. My mate just had his kid about 4 or 5 days ago, so I gotta go get my hooping. I gotta go get my hooping cough shot, and I work with him too. I'm the network admin. He's just admin, and so he's gonna
Hooping
go
cough.
see him.
That's serious.
That's cool. Well, good luck. Good luck to him. He'll
Yeah, no, the kid's going really well.
get very little sleep.
Everyone says that. Like, that sounds
But
scary. He reckons it's been good so far. Like the first week's been eerily easy.
Yeah.
So
there's many years to go where you can lose sleep.
yes.
I actually get off quite easy, I guess. Yeah. My partner gets way less sleep than I do. I sleep through most things. So. Cool.
All good. No worries.
Right, so Monday.
Monday,
Monday. I'll probably send some messages out on Sunday, see how I go. I think thanks to Tim, thank you for linking me that I should be pretty good. I'll be able to put that together. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, way to separate this stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll do something with that app list, and then I'll ping you. Yeah. And then
Okay.
once you see that, you should be able to just do the other bit.
Yeah. I should be able to.
Cool.
Lovely.
Right, guys.
All right. Now, guys.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Ciao.
Bye.
Have a good one. See ya.